This video is made for adult collectors because bro has a tiny ass head. Modfans hit the nail on the head with their roller. I love that thing, and it's probably the best starter third-party toy out there, so you can imagine I was very hyped for this guy's release. Then I found out it was Legends scaled, which isn't a bad thing by any means. I was just expecting to be a deluxe due to the Titans Return compatibility. What happened? Goddamn. I'm dying. And then I got my hands on it, and it feels odd. It's only 43 bucks, which isn't bad at all, and I get the value for it, but it does things I really like, and it does a couple things that I just don't. Before I get into that though, this video is brought to you by TF Safari. They have a wide range what the hell's a range of third-party and KO things online, including this and one of the other 3 roller decos left, which I highly recommend picking up that mold. And I also found out that it's sold out. I'm gonna cry now. But if you use code THATTOYGUYSPECIAL 3% off, I know you save a little bit off every order, which is nice. So thank you very much for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the actual toy. This thing looks really cool, like really cool. It's a very angular and more dynamic looking Cerebros, but I like it. The design is clean, the paintwork is nice, but the paint brings up the one big issue I have. Chipping. It hasn't actually chipped yet. Like, there isn't anything wrong with it, but it feels weird. Interjecting very quickly to say it actually has chipped right there. I just noticed that. I'll touch on that more in transformation because that's where that happened. It's slightly chalky. It's durable, but I do worry. That chalky stuff I've never had the best experience with on other toys, but they also chipped pretty quickly. This one, I've had it for like a week and a bit now, and it hasn't really chipped that much, if at all. As I said before, he is a very dynamic figure. The optional hands help elevate that dynamic nature even more because they're like open and anime-esque, and his proportions are also kind of anime-esque, and it makes me want to pose him more. The colors are kind of bland. I mean, it's G1 Cerebros, but if you want more color, there will be a new option for that coming out soon, so that's cool. He does also come with a sword and a gun, which is nice, and a headmaster. Yep, the head does come off and does turn into a tiny-ass little man. That's neat. But you would probably be thinking to yourself, hey Arjun, that's me by the way. Hey Arjun, why does this cost 43 bucks? That doesn't seem worth it, and you would be correct. But that's because I haven't shown you everything you get with this. You get these 2 massive slabs of plastic. Yep, this is also an upgrade kit for one Titans Return Fortress Maximus, who coincidentally is getting a reissue this year. So for all the people who are getting that, you can get this cool Cerebros and get a gun and a dish for your Fort Max, because the standard one comes with nothing. There is also quite a lot of articulation going on, and the diecast in the feet adds like extra bit of solid base, which I like, but it means that and the extra hands, you can pull off some cool looking poses.
Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it.
So as you saw, his posing it's quite good. It's a lot better. I need to move some stuff. It's a lot better than the Titans Return one. A lot better. So to start with, the head can rotate left and right. It does kind of get caught on these shoulder pad things a little bit, but it has enough clearance to go up and over it. He can look up that far and he can look down that far. The shoulders can do a full 360 degrees. These shoulder pads can move out to accommodate the arms going out. He does have bicep rotation. You have double jointed elbows. You have a wrist swivel, though if you swivel it too much, it comes off because that's how you swap the hands. You just pull them off. The torso has I believe a ball joint up here and then a ball joint down here. So you can get that much of a crunch and that much of a back. And then you got side to side as well and a waist joint. So there's a lot of torso posing there, which is quite nice. The hip skirts can move forward a little bit. They can go forward only about that far. And then the side skirts go out. The legs can go forward. They can go back. They can go in and out. My camera's having a tough time trying to focus on this guy. You have thigh rotation, which is very stiff on my copy. 90-degree bend at the knee, which the bend doesn't really accomplish much. It doesn't raise the leg up high enough off the ground for me personally. I feel like the knee could have been a little bit lower. And then the ankles,
They can't really go down. They can go up a little bit, and you have a tiny bit of ankle tilt. Not a lot, a tiny bit. But it's pretty good. It's not as posable as their, you can't even see that, but as their roller, because the roller's like, his legs really do accomplish a lot more, and he has a lot more sort of like ankle articulation than this guy. But it's still pretty good. It's definitely better than the Titan's Return one, that's for sure.
So yeah, that's the robot. He's fun. Again, I wish he were bigger, but eh. Now head time. Wait.
So the transformation, and this is where this paint chip comes into play. So to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the torso 180 degrees. Then you're going to lift the hip skirts up and put them inside here. That gives the legs clearance later on. Now let's deal with the paint chip. Oh, straighten out. Now let's deal with the paint chips. So when you're doing, I'm going to zoom in for this. When you're doing the torso, right, you have to unpeg the, focus on this, not on my hand, idiot. You have to unpeg the shoulder section and bring it around. That exposes this peg. Now, you bring it around and it has to sit like this. However, I was kind of confused on that, and so I would pull the whole section over, the white included, because there's no natural stopping point. It keeps going. So when you do that, the white will scrape against this out of focus gray part. There you go. And we'll chip it. So don't do that. Don't make sure you only pull it out as far as it needs to go. Don't go any further. We'll just bring this section out again, only going as far as it needs to so that we don't chip the paint. And then to the arms don't really peg together at all, kind of like the Titan's Return one. You're supposed to take the sword, and the sword will come in here and slot in to the arms, and then that's how you peg the arms together, is using the sword, which is cool. I like how the weapon is integrated into the transformation. However, if you lose it, then oh, pain. Now with these sections here, you want to pull these out. Now they're going to be a little bit stiff, so I highly recommend grabbing them like this and just sort of pulling. There we go. You don't want to use your fingernail, otherwise you'll probably scratch the paint off. Just sort of get in here and like use the meaty part of your finger. There you go. And once that's open, you take this and you bend it that way. Make sure the hands don't get in the way, because they're going to have to slide underneath the hands. There we go. Now we'll take this section, open it up. We'll blow our nose because our allergies are bad today, excuse me. Then you unpeg this section and you slide this entire piece up till it clicks. Till it clicks. There we go. In place. Fold that up. Bring this section down, and the feet will peg into these pegs you've exposed on the back. And that's pretty much it. There you, oh, make sure his feet are, There you have Cerebros in head mode. And then the adapter, which you'll see in action a little bit later, just plugs in to right there.
So that's him in head mode. Not the cleanest head mode, if I'm honest, but the official outings aren't exactly any better. But I love the face sculpt. Kind of feels a bit Japanese G1-esque. I just punched my microphone. Kind of feels a bit Japanese G1-esque, which I think is neat. And the blue color for the fins is very nice to look at, and it doesn't feel chalky, which is really good too. The sword can store between the arms, and the gun can go off to the side and cry of loneliness, but you also get that weird rectangle he's standing on. That's the adapter for Titan's Return Fortress Maximus. Yes, this head is also compatible with Titan's Return Fortress Maximus. Small head. Yeah, that's just way too small for me personally. It does sort of fit, but I'm so used to seeing the big head of the regular one on this, so it looks funny to me. It makes me think that they're working on their own Fort Max later on down the road, a little bit more legend scale, slightly downsized one. Because this head, there's no way that was they wanted that to fit 100%. That's too small. But do I recommend it? At the end of the day, yeah. It's a nice add-on for a once old, now new Titan's Return Fort Max with gun and dish, and you get a cool Cerebros even if the head is a little too small. I just worry about the longevity of the paint with how it feels, because I haven't had the best experience with chalky stuff in the past. But for 43 bucks, it's not bad. You get a lot of stuff for your money, especially if you already own Fort Max or are going to be getting it, then I think this is worth it. If you don't, you could probably pass on it, but that's my look at, almost said Titan's Return. This is not that. Modfans Cerebros. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.